present. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Are you happy? I'm not so sure. If you're happy, stand up. Of course, with an exception of the high table. Career limiting moves. All right. Can you stretch a little bit? Have you eaten or drank anything? Nothing. Don't worry. We'll take good care of you. Asanteni. Okay, keep standing for the national anthem. DJ. Let's have the East African, please. The East African. Asanteni sana. In the same spirit, please don't be tired. I would like to welcome Sabram to pray for us.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Ar-rahmanir rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amin.
Madam Jean.
Let us bow our hands and pray. Father, in the name of Jesus Christ, we come before Thee this afternoon with thanksgiving in our heart. We want to thank You, want to bless You, because You have been so good to us, oh God. You have given us health. You have given us, Jehovah God, life. Receive all the honor, receive all the adoration. Thank You because of this day that You planned for us, oh God, that we will be here. Jehovah God, receiving our visitors, God, we want to pray that You may bless them. All the visitors that have come here, the CSS, the PS, oh God, bless them in a mighty way as they continue, Jehovah God, to build our country. We want to pray that Your wisdom, knowledge will be upon them. Be with us, oh God, give us a fruitful day for the glory and the honor of Your name. For in Jesus' name we worship and pray. Amen.
May we be seated. Our CSS present, our guest, this is a great day that we are witnessing a milestone, the beginning of positioning our country and the region, major export processing zone. The launch of the railway siding project will be a major catalyst to open up business, to open up investments, to open up trade in this part of the country. So without further ado, I would like to invite Ben Olunya, who is the chairman of EPZA, to welcome us and to give his remarks. Karibu sir.
Habari zenu? I can't hear you. Muzuri. Good, good. Well, it's a pleasure to welcome everybody here. Honorable Bwana Moses Kuria, the CS for Investment, Trade and Industry. We'd also like to welcome Madam Bor, the CS for Labor and Social Protection. And we'd also like to welcome Bwana Kipchumba Murkomen, the CS for Ministry of Transport and Public Works. We'd also like to welcome the permanent secretaries who are present. I can see Bwana Abubakar, who is here. We'd also like to acknowledge Mr. Hussein Adan, the CEO of EPZ, and we'd also like to welcome the CEO for EPZA. Karibuni, everybody. I would also like to welcome, I can see our good friends from Revital. I can see Mr. Rudolph present. I can also see Dr. Muraguri, who is also present. That having been said, all protocols observed, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to the Export Processing Zone Authority. Oh, sorry, the CEO of NSSF is also here. Karibu, karibu. Karibu. It brings me great pleasure to welcome you all to the Export Processing Zone Authority at the Athi River. And it has, we are undertaking this important activity aimed at making Kenya the preferred investment destination and to efficiently attract and retain export-oriented program investments. Let me begin by giving you a short introduction to the EPZA program. The Export Processing Zone program came into being in 1990 as a result of the government-oriented export performance and coming up with a better platform to export development and economic development initiative geared towards opening up and expanding economic activity in certain areas. The program is therefore geared to providing for and facilitating export-oriented investments to achieve the following economic objectives. Firstly, to increase local and foreign direct investment. Secondly, to promote the promotion of non-traditional exports. Thirdly, job creation. Fourthly, the promotion of backward linkages in supply of raw materials and factory imports through promotion of local resource utilization and the development of forward linkages through the production of immediate imports of other external industries. We also have the transfer of skills technology to Kenyans in the area of production, technology, and marketing expertise. Bwana CS, currently we have 92 zones in 6 public and 86 private zones across the country. And we have located in 22 counties with a total with a total EPZ program investment of 133 billion shillings, as that is as of 2020, with employment at 85,000 workers. Through the years, the Export Processing Zone program has proved to be a leader in resilience and innovation in the manufacturing industry, with examples being Revital, EPZ, which was instrumental with the recent COVID pandemic. We have Shona, we have Hela, and several other export processing zone companies. Bwana Waziri, we are continuing to grow the program. We realize that ease of doing business and the creation of a conducive business environment is important to make sure that the investments proceed. Athi River is strategically positioned logistically, and to further improve the cost of operation, we have recommended the railway siding project. This will decrease the cost of operation, making EPZA goods competitive globally. Bwana CS, in addition, investors seeking ready industrial sheds in order to minimize startup capital and enabling them to start operations immediately. And thus the 2 projects, railway siding and the industrial shed development, will increase Kenya's attractiveness as the investment destination. We are grateful for your cooperation. Bwana Waziri, we thank you very much for making time to visit us and showing confidence in our projects, with growing our manufacturing capacity and increasing our economic development. As my CS always says, Kenya is open for business. So karibuni, come to Kenya and come and invest. Asante. Asante.
All right. This railway seeding is very key in improving the competitiveness of this zone in terms of reducing the cost of cargo and also the delivery of finished product to market. And to take us through the detailed presentation of what this project is all about is none other than the feasibility study consultant themselves, Technobyte Consultants, who will take the next 10 minutes just taking us through the scope of this project and the value that it will bring to this part of the country.
Honorable CSs, the PS is present, and the CEOs are with us, and also the distinguished guests. We are happy to present the design of the railway siding, which is actually going to be situated just next to where we are seated. My name is Mushemi Gakuru. I'm the team leader for this project. So it's not going to be a long presentation. So I'm just going to give you the project description and highlight the need for the siding. As the site layout, which is adjacent to where we are seated, the features of the project, and one of the key features is a bridge across the siding. It's the meter gauge line. This is important because it's a major cost and a construction item. And then we are going to look at auxiliary features, the things that are going to be required to support the designs and the operations of this siding. And we are going to look at the operations, how they are going to be done, and who is going to be doing them, the conclusions we have come up with, and the next stages for the project. So the siding is very important. We started the feasibility studies to look at why actually we need the siding itself. The need for transportation of raw materials and finished products to and fro this site and make it cost effective was deemed to be quite important, so that we could make the EPZ itself and attract more investors. We looked at the growth estimates from the data that provided at EPZ and our own studies collected from the site. So what the project will do is to link this site, the EPZ, with the standard gauge railway. And I think for those who don't know where the standard gauge railway is, you can look at across there. You can see the river station. That's where the standard gauge railway line passes. And also to link the this site again with the meter gauge railway, which is just beyond this fence, which you can see there. The project lifetime, the design lifetime for the project is 40 years. So this is site layout, the features. We are going to provide a hard stud in this area just next to us. We are going to bring the railway line inside. We are going to provide a go down. And we will provide a road that goes across to link up with the viewer down road, the one that you use for approaching the EPZ site. The reason being, we need to have only one gate to enter the EPZ premises for custom reasons. So we provide a road for that. And actually it will be a 3-lane road because one of the lanes will be like a parking for the trucks. The standard gauge connection for the rail will be about 3.5 kilometers because it will come across and then go back and then into the marshalling yard or into the hard stud area. And the bridge will be 150 meters. I think this information is important for engineers and for others to note where the major construction costs are coming from. Then, of course, we are going to have a dedicated hard stud for the project. That's the way the bridge is going to look like. We have consulted widely with Kenya Railways and provided for what they require. They require two tracks for the MGR, and then they require that we have certain heights for the bridge. So the access road is going to be in total 1.13 kilometers long. It will be 9 meters wide. The lay-by, the third lane, will accommodate about 10 trucks. We'll have a 450-meter go-down for temporary storage of goods and a 2-story office block. There will be a small parking next to the go-down that can accommodate 30 cars. So this is important just to know what part of the land in the EPZ that is going to be affected. So we have overlaid the design on the plots that are next to the EPZ site. So these are the plots that are, I think all the plots will be affected, right from where the road that we access this area from, up to the edge. But some of them will be more affected from 139 to 145. The rest, I think, will be more affected by the road and the lay-by area. So this is the way the go-downs are going to look like. There will be not major go-downs. It's just for temporary storage of goods and also to provide some office spaces in 2 levels. So the operations that we proposed is to have 2 SGR trains, one coming down and one going to Mombasa Dairy. Same for MGL. And these are going to be integrated with the Kenya Railways operations. We found Kenya Railways has a big spare capacity for operations, so these are going to be integrated. We will need 3 MGR locomotives and 3 SGR locomotives, which will be provided by Kenya Railways. And Kenya Railways, again, will do the train operations, but the business will be run by EPZ, either directly or through contracting. The project costs is 3.7 billion. That's a capital cost for the project. And we have worked out the financial viability of the project and also economic viability of the project. And we have found that in both cases, the project is financially viable. There's quite a lot of the clinker to be transported, and this makes the project favorable in terms of the financial outcome. So we have also started discounting rates just to see how the project performs. And in all cases, we found the net present value to be positive. So the next stages of the construction, we have finished the detailed design, the operation studies, and we have completed the tender documents. So the next stage is to go to procurement, construction, and operations. We estimate that the construction period may take up to 24 months, anywhere between 18 months to 24 months. So that is a short presentation that I had for everybody. Thank you.
Yes, another round of applause. Clearly, it is a major investment, isn't it? Don't you all agree? We've invited quite a number of potential operators of this particular, or users of this particular investment, especially those who will be able to provide cargo services. We did send an invitation to about 10 of them. I'm just curious, is there any, because is there any cargo operator who is willing to consider being part of this vision? Oh, one has showed up. Great, take it up.
Bwana CSS na Madam CS, PSS, all protocol observed. Yes, we are willing to to participate in the process. My name is Daniel Tanui. I'm the group managing director of Mitchell Courts Freight, and we have interest in developing or being involved in the process of actualization of the railway siding. We are in logistics. Our business is purely logistics. So we are happy to be here today. We are happy to be present as they launch the designs. We will now go down and sit. We'll go back to the offices and sit and crunch the figures and see how we can quickly have this project actualized. Thank you very much.
Great. Let's appreciate him one more time. We also need the money, isn't it? We need the money to get this job done. It's an investment. It's not a loan, isn't it? Is there any possible developer who is keen to be part of this vision? I have just learned that one of the largest financiers, NSSF, is here. Chairman, karibu sana.
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Anthony Munyiri. Honorable CSS, Madam CS, my boss, Bwana Abubakar, my PS, all protocols are observed. Like I said, I'm the chairman of NSSF. We are great and we are honored to be here. We thank Waziri Moses Kuria for the invitation. As a fund, of course, we look at various asset classes that we can actually invest in. Our job is to maximize the returns that we have towards our contributors. It's a very noble idea, but also we have land just down the road. Yeah. So I could be here either as a supporter or maybe I'm stealing the idea from you. So whichever, it all works. The most important thing is that we're supporting the government. On the manufacturing side, I'm sure you all know very well, we've been taking a hit on the shilling against most of the major currencies, especially the dollar. It's important we start these kind of projects, even joint ventures with manufacturers. You are most welcome. Come and talk with us. Our doors are open. I'm here with my team, management team. My CEO is right here. This is something that we are really, really keen on taking it to another level. So all I can say is thank you for the invitation. Looking forward to engaging further with my CS and of course with Waziri Kuria. We are very keen as a NSSF, let it be known, we want to diversify into other asset classes which make sense. We are more traditionally into the stock market, as you all know. We're the largest participators in the stock market. Let us see whether we can have a different mix of a class that can make a difference. So thank you very, very much. And I'm sure we'll continue to engage with each other. Asanteni.
I would like to recognize the presence of the CEO NSSF. Kindly just stand and wave to us. Landlord, Eshimu landlord. Thank you. I would like to recognize the presence of Mika Odoro, the Senior Assistant County Commissioner, Athi River Sub-County. Welcome, sir. Thank you very much. At this juncture, I would like to invite the PS Investments, Abubakar, to welcome us further and to invite the CS to take care of the rest of the program. Karibu PS.
All right, thank you. Good afternoon. CS Murkomen Kipchumba, CS Florence Bore, CS Moses Kuria, all the CEOs of Parastatal, senior government official, and CEOs of companies that have set up in this EPZA. Good afternoon again. My job is just to introduce the CS, but I'd like to say something before I do that. In our KK, or Kenya Kwanza economic transformation agenda, we have three problems we are facing. One is the investment saving deficit, two is the budget deficit, and three is the balance of payment deficit, which is as a result of our current account and trade deficit issues. And the problem and the solution to that, we are convinced, we believe, and we have been validated, it is productivity. And industrial park plays a great role in enhancing productivity. An industrial park in such a zone like export processing zone will help us in a great way to reduce the balance of payment deficit. So this proposed railway siding will enhance the competitiveness of this zone for last mile connectivity, and which will in turn attract more investment into this zone to attract and create more jobs. With those many remarks, let me take this opportunity to introduce my boss, Honorable CS Moses Kuria.
Thank you very much, PS Abubakar, my esteemed colleagues, CS Murkomen, and CS Florence Bore, Principal Secretary Abubakar, chairman of NSSF, CEOs of NSSF, EPZA, and CESA, the team from Kenya Railways. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am very delighted to welcome you here this afternoon, very sunny afternoon. The last time CS Mulkomen and I walked into an event together was during the BBI rally in Meru, and what happened after is a matter of history, so we'll leave it there. So I hope this time we'll walk together with the rest of the people. This is a very exciting day for me, a very unique partnership between the Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry, the Ministry of Roads and Transport, and the Ministry of Labor, representing also NSSF, that we can be able to pull together our capabilities and to achieve what we call whole of government approach to achieve our objectives, to break the silos, to break the Chinese walls, and to really work together to bring together the best assets, the best opportunities we have as a country, and I think that is great. There's one gentleman who I've just discovered is here from the private sector investors, convener of the Sanduku Investment Initiative, Mr. Tom Mulo, if you can just wave your hand. He represents all the pension funds of this country, who is here to partner with NSSF and the other pension funds. And I think if I had my way, I'd also invite you to say some few words so that you can commit yourself. It's not just because of CO2 kwa sababu ya kuongea. Let me say this project today of enabling access to the SGL and MGL by a private investor. First of all, it is the working model of our new way of financing infrastructure through public-private partnership. So let me take this opportunity to thank Mitchell Coates, Mr. Tanui, and the team for really grabbing this opportunity to say that if you wait for government to do this, they may take another 10 years. But if you invest your own resources to invest in this riding, you'll be able to achieve a return on investment much faster than the 10 years. And this is the spirit of the PPP that we want to achieve. So we have got, may I ask all the investors in SCZ who are here, in EPZ who are here, just to stand up. Happy investors, I have seen Hera there. These are the people, CS Mulcom, who will benefit from this project. They are already here. They manufacture from here. 70% of the exports to the US come from where we are sitting. And we do it in such a, you may be seated. It's such problematic because after manufacturing, the goods are loaded onto trucks to be taken to ICD and other places, some to be taken by trucks to Mombasa. Once this project is completed, we manufacture here and we export right from here, and this will ensure that we continue taking advantage of the AGOA market. The market for AGOA, Africa accounts for less than 0.01%. We have got a huge market, but right now we are only exporting goods worth how much, Hussein? $500 million? And we want to raise that figure to $5 billion a year. And it is possible that we raise it tenfold because of what you're helping us. In fact, I am persuaded to think that is just a tip of the iceberg. We can achieve much more in terms of taking advantage of the AGOA market. Some of our neighbors, I will not name them, they have some problems with AGOA. Investors want to come here, but we don't have the facilities. That is what this railway project is doing for us. In terms of jobs, currently we have got 50,000 people working here within the EPZ. And because of this project, we hope that we are going to achieve another tenfold. 500,000 jobs will be created here, just from the existing facilities and without a lot of growth. Now, the demand that is there within the AGOA market is much, much higher than even that 500,000 jobs. So we want to move from there and create 4 million jobs where we are. And that's where NSSF comes in. That because we have got ready investors, they have been knocking, they follow me, they follow His Excellency the President everywhere. We want to manufacture in Kenya. Give us a space. So this project is not just about another sliding of the railway. It's not just about another investment by NSSF. It is creating 4 million jobs from the Athi River EPZ only. Ladies and gentlemen, the population of Sri Lanka is 20 million people. How many Sri Lankans are in the house? Please raise your hand. Is that true, Mr. Hela? But Sri Lanka has got 4.5 million people working in the textile sector. Is that correct? Yeah, this is a Sri Lankan. So I'm not telling you stories. And Sri Lanka is exporting $4.5 billion worth of apparel to the US, when Kenya is exporting only $500 million. Who needs the jobs more? Kenya or Sri Lanka, given the population? Kenya needs the jobs more. Yet Sri Lanka is ahead of us. And by the way, Sri Lanka does not have duty-free and quota-free access to the US market the way Kenya has. So hii ni mchezo tuko nayo. Na tumesema wizara yangu ni ya kazi. So we must deliver the jobs. So I want to thank you, CS Murkomen, CS Florence and your teams for agreeing that we work together. At least let one thing work. If this project only works and we provide 4 million jobs to Kenyans, I will feel that not only do we stand a chance of being given a new mandate by Kenyans, but we have kidogo a chance of going to heaven. And I'm sure that, yeah, and I'm sure that will happen. So Tony and Mr. Mwangangi, Mr. Cheseto from NSSF, I want to assure you that you have made the right decision to invest here. By the way, not just a return, but I think you'll get better job satisfaction and also a better chance of going to heaven if you sleep knowing that you have invested where we have created 4 million jobs for Kenyans instead of just other high-rise buildings. The president is pushing affordable housing there. Other people can do it. Affordable housing. I think if we get NSF to be our partaker of investment opportunities, come and invest here, we are guaranteeing you will get a return. In terms of other services, we have got water, which has been an issue. The CEO of Athi Water is here. If you can just turn and wave to the people, Engineer Doita. And Engineer Doita is telling me that within another month to 2 months, the Northern Collector project will be completed, and he is guaranteeing us here 50,000 liters of water will come here from the Northern Collector. So again, investors, water is coming. And I think that's a huge achievement. There's some investment that needs to be made in terms of pipe. We are going to discuss with Athi Water, with CS Alice Ohome, to ensure that that project is completed so that we can be able to give the water. Now in terms of power, and I want to say this is discussion that is going on, so quote me at your own peril. But we're also fixing the issue of power. I've just had a discussion this afternoon with CS Churchill, with the Director General of EPZA, to see how can we match the incentive that we give to Naivasha, Kedong, in terms of the power tariff, for it to apply in Athi River and all other public EPZ and SEZ. So that discussion is ongoing. What I want to assure you is that the President has given his direction that we must harmonize the incentive structure for all our SEZs and all our EPZ. And I think if that happens, investors who are here, you have a reason to smile. You have no reason to go to other countries. It will be so, but they will even try, you can't. It will be so difficult for any investor. Once we fix the power issue for this EPZ, once we fix the water issue, once NSSF helps us and other investors, Mr. Mulwa and his private pension people, put your money here, this is a better return, invest in your own country, and then you'll be on a journey for takeoff. And let me say this, other than this particular EPZ, we are working on 8 other flagship EPZs across the country to offload the demand we expect here. We are doing one in Murang'a, one in Sagana, one in Eldoret, one in Nakuru, one in Nyamira, and one in Busia to complement what you are doing here. So that when an investor comes here and it's full, we can send them to the next place. Now can you imagine, even if you do 2 million jobs, on top of the 4 million jobs here, see Kenya imesonga jameni. If we provide jobs for our people, we are ahead. Let me finish by saying this. The first government, since independence, when we got independence, it was remembered as a government that brought Kenya independence. The second government brought Kenya school milk. The third government gave Kenya free primary education and infrastructure. The fourth government gave Kenya the failed handshake. This fifth government will give Kenya jobs. Jobs and jobs. Si kila mtu amefanya kazi yake. We are all contributing to the development of this country in different ways. So with those few words, let me take this opportunity to invite, first of all, our investor, our esteemed investor. You don't have to look at the producer of money, not the consumer of money. Yeah? So, Madam Florence, CS for Labor, please, it's your turn now to address this gathering. Asante sana.
Thank you, Waziri Moses Kuria, my colleague, Waziri Murkomen, Chair NSSF, partners that are here. Thank you, Moses Kuria, PS, for trade. Moses Kuria, Waziri Trade, thank you for this invite that we come and partner together in this project. It is a welcome project. We as investors through NSSF look forward with partnering with you, and we are happy that Kenyans have started the new contributions, the higher contributions that we started in February, going forward. And as Chairman has said, we want to maximize the returns. I'm sure we are going to sit down and work out to see that we are able to partner together and generate a lot of it comes from here. I'm also excited as a Ministry of Labor for the 4 million jobs that Moses has talked about. I know he's passionate with trade issues, and Waziri Moses Kuria, I'm hoping this come to reality. We are going to create those jobs and we are going to invest here. I want to say I will do my best, and I'm committed that we work together towards the success of this project. Otherwise, asanteni sana, and we want to go to the Sri Lanka way and create those jobs. Maybe one of these fine days we go there, we benchmark, we see for ourselves, and we replicate here in Kenya. Thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you. You talked about EPZ regions, 8 of them. He passes my county in Kericho and goes to Nyamira. I'm an investor here. For me to accept to be an investor, you must bring the EPZ back to Kericho. Thank you.
Tony Munyiri, if you listen to your C as well, she was saying, invest in Kericho EPZ. Mimi ukifutwa kazi mimi sitakuweko. That's called an executive order. And we are not on the road. Tuko hapa ndani, so it cannot be called a roadside declaration. Tuko hapa, yeah? Na PS Abubakar, when a CS speaks, it's also an executive order. Amesema upange hiyo benchmarking ya Sri Lanka. And by the way, Sri Lanka is not the best example. Bangladesh is doing much, much more. Hela, how much is Bangladesh doing? $50 billion? Yeah? $30 billion. When we are doing $500 million, Bangladesh, which does not have the advantages we have, is doing $30 billion. So don't just even look at Sri Lanka, 4.5 billion. The biggest factory, one single factory in Bangladesh, has employed 90,000 people. One factory. And it has everything there, schools and everything. So I agree, PS, please arrange we take these wonderful CSs to Sri Lanka, to Bangladesh, ndio wajione, sio tu si ndio, so that you can be able to benchmark. Now let me take this opportunity to invite the chief guest, the consumer, the guy who is going to enable us. Unajua watu lazima wabebeleze vizuri, si ndio? Sasa umeona tumepigia Florence makofi, pesa imetoka, hata yake licho imetoka. So CS pia tupatie yako. Asante.
Thank you very much, CS Moses Kuria, CS Florence Bore, PS Abubakar, or as we used to call him in school, Abu, and all the CEOs who are here, the investors who are here, ladies and gentlemen. It is my greatest privilege and honor to be here this time to discuss a very important matter, which is an investment. As you are all aware, my ministry is an enabler, and the Ministry of Transport really is about trade facilitation, trade and investment facilitation. And therefore, I stand here to, first of all, congratulate my friend, CS Moses Kuria, for the work he's doing, particularly in making sure that he works hard to bring investments to the country, and also awakening the sleeping giants in the country who are very important strategic investors, and particularly the pension funds, among others, because sometimes we go out of our way to look for external investors when we have not made the environment conducive for the local investments. So for that reason, Moses, we want to congratulate you for the work you are doing here and abroad. I was joking the other day that when you called me that you want me to be here for purpose of this function, so I was asking myself, when did Moses come back to Kenya? Because since we were appointed, it became clear that you are out there more than being here. So when I saw you today, that's why I told you welcome to Kenya. And while out there, you've done a fantastic job. In school, I used to study in a postgraduate degree. We were studying trade and investment, and it sounded so theoretic that time. But I can see you practicing in action. And what you're doing is important to make sure that people are aware about the opportunities that are in this country. And my ministry is a beneficiary of your effort to tell the world what we have and what they can be, how they can be able to invest in this sector, capital intensive, and which has a high return. In terms of this project, I have consulted with the Kenya Railway, and the Kenya Railway are waiting for the final designs from the consultant, so that then we can work together. Our objective is to make sure that in this PPP model, we are able to provide the rolling stock as required, and locomotives to assist you to carry goods from here to Mombasa or to Kampala if need be. And we want to make sure that our containers are not going back empty. And the only way we can make sure that our containers are not going back empty to Mombasa is to make sure that we have provided better investments so that the supply from our side to the port is able to match the goods that we import. The reason why we are struggling at the moment, as someone said, with foreign exchange, and our economy is and our shilling is depreciated to some extent, is because we do not have enough goods we are exporting. So meaning that from the supply side, we are struggling. And the most important issue for us is to see that as the containers go back to Mombasa, they go when they are full. And that's why the work of Moses in the EPZA, in the SEZs across the country, both in Mombasa, Lamu, that we are working together to ensure that the SEZ in Lamu is functional. We want to make sure that Kenya can have greater, the balance of trade from our side is improved. And for that reason, therefore, I am here to assure you that the Ministry of Transport and Roads is going to do everything humanly possible to ensure that this noble endeavor is achieved. And I want to congratulate the private investors, the logistic firms who are here that are partnering with the EPZA and the railway so that we can be able to achieve this product. And I want to assure them of our maximum support. Moses, at least your Kinoru Stadium walkout did not become in vain. Moses has not told you the whole story, but one day we were sitting somewhere in Nairobi taking tea, and we realized that people were congregating in Meru. So we asked somebody for a lift and told him we would like to attend that meeting. So we attended. We were not invited. And when we reached there, Moses was not given a chance to speak. That's why even when he speaks a lot, I don't have a problem with Moses. He was denied a chance to speak. And then so because of my position then, it was inevitable. If Orengo had to speak, I had to speak. So they had to give me to speak. When I finished, Moses told me, we have finished the way we came here, let's go. So when we walked out of the stadium, everybody walked out with us. Or at least half of the stadium walked out with us. And so I hope that leadership we provided there, we can provide it now in government to make sure that each one of us will walk in the same direction and in a direction that is able to assist our country to have investments. The last thing I want to say is that we don't have money for the capital-intensive projects, the roads, the railway, the port, and inevitably we'll have to work with the private sector. When we say we work with the private sector, we are not saying we are selling public utilities, no. At some point, we have to allow the public to, or the private sector, we must leverage on the private sector to quickly invest. If we wait for us to get taxes to be able to do the roads, it will not work. That is why, even though we had challenges with the expressway, it has given us enough lessons to learn a good PPP, how it works. And you will be seeing us working with investors to dual Nairobi-Mombasa highway, to dual Rironi-Mau Summit, and beyond. And we want to also see how we can invite investors to also invest in these very high-intensive and high-traffic roads like Kitengela, like Rongai, like Kiambu. And it's possible to do so. If you can guarantee a citizen, the way we came here this time, those of us who use the expressway, and I know now if I live here, I'll be able to get to the office in less than 20 minutes because of the expressway. If you can guarantee every citizen that they can get home from Kitengela or from Kiserian, he can be at work in 10 to 15 minutes. There is no reason why he cannot pay 100 shillings if he's driving a car. Because he will save time and he will save his fuel. In any case, if he remains in the traffic for 2 hours, he will spend more than that 100 shillings. He will make 300 shillings on fuel alone. And then he will arrive home very hungry and angry at everybody. And is unable to, interact with their family. If we can use private sector to invest in our infrastructure and make movements faster, we will be able to benefit. And that is where I hope NSSF going forward. If you look at pension funds all over the world, they are the ones who have invested in the expressways, whether in Beijing, whether in the US. So we are working on the tolling policy to make sure that we attract long-term investments. Let me ask you, Bwana Chairman or CEO of NSSF, just imagine if you were part and parcel of the investment of expressway, for the next 50 years. Your investors will be assured of guaranteed of their return of the investment for a long period of time. But even if we sometimes criticize the foreign company, they took the risk and gave us a good product. At least the government of Kenya is not guaranteeing the traffic, the volumes of the traffic. They took the whole risk for the next 30 years. And that risk, I can tell you, will pay because it crossed the mark of 10 million passengers the other day. So if we do the same on other infrastructure, I think we must be really innovative and ready to invest. And I saw some leaders trying to say, the port must run the same way, the road will run. No, that's not how it will be. We must leverage on local investments. And I'm going to tell you, Chair, even in SSF, when we call for concessioneering of some baths in the port, and ask you invest in baths, this for purpose of this, or this terminal, or all that. If we ask you to invest in the airport, and we're looking for a private investor to build a new airport terminal, come in. That's a long-term investment, a concession of 50 years. It will be able to have very good returns for your investments. So let's not fear to invest and wait for foreigners to come and invest. Even as we ask Moses for investments from abroad to the port, to the airport, let us make sure that we match or make sure that we create partnerships, local partnerships, especially our pension funds, so that there is no way a foreigner can come here and invest in an airport if there is not going to be any return. They know there is a return for 30 years. The pension fund should have, even if it means 5%, even if it's 10% of the total investment, then you are able to diversify and have an investment for a long time. Sorry for saying a lot of things, but really, I'm excited to say this because at the moment, Moses, if you know something that happened in the last 5 years, while we were away from government, a lot of bad things happened. We have pending bills in my ministry that are more than 2 years. And you see people saying, "Oh, we want the road, do the roads," and the people shouting to us are on the top of the rooftops of vehicles in rallies, are the same people who are in office when for 2 years roads were stagnating. Why? Because they picked the money and put it in personal, because of state capture, they put this money into areas where they had personal gain. And some people were silenced using public resources so that they cannot speak for 5 years. If anyone thinks that we are going to okay again a use of public resources to make them silent, then they are mistaken. We are a free country. Let people talk. In any case, after they talk, they go home. That is okay. That's the role of oversight. But we are not going to continue this path where 2-3 years down the line, there are roads. For example, let me give an example that because I was a Tarakaniti members of parliament today and governor. Chakarika Marimanti Road, we launched it in 2015. 8 years down the line, it has only been done 1 kilometer. It has a serious pending bill. Why? Because our priorities changed to managing politicians, making them happy, so that we can divert public resources to areas that are of personal gain. We are not going to do that again. Let people do their politics out there, but those of us who are in government will make sure that public resources are used for purpose of completing government projects and making sure it benefits the people of Kenya. Asanteni sana na Mungu wabariki. Thank you very much.
Najua simona ni chance tulikuwa tumenyimwa ya kufanya kazi. Nani angejua huyo ni Kipchumba Murkomen. We are heading somewhere. Let me just finalize by saying 4 things. One, we were having this fight on the new rates for NSSF. And we combined our efforts, a whole of government approach on this particular issue. Why it is possible for us to be here today and to ask NSSF to invest in this kind of project to create jobs is because you Kenyans have agreed that it makes sense to pay the higher NSSF rates. So now I want Kenya to see why that was important and to thank Kenyans for agreeing to support us to invest in this kind of projects. Murkomen has talked about the pending bills we have in the road sector. We are structuring an instrument with the Kenya Roads Board on the back of the fuel levy that will enable Tom Murwa, the private pensions, NSSF, to actually offload the government of that burden in the spirit of that domestic investment. And CS Murkomen, I want to tell you, our money is where we told you it is in November. Hatujatumia, lakini mkuchelewa, money does not lack where to go. So please ask our colleagues to fast track that process so that we can give you the money. You go and pay the contractors. Tom, sisi tuko tayari. Tony, sisi tuko tayari. Pesa iko. You just give us the instrument so we give you the money You pay the contractors, they go back to work, they pay VAT, they pay people who they have employed, and the economy becomes liquid again. That's how we are going to build this economy. Two, CS Mulkumen has talked about the partners for investment that we are looking for, both domestic and international. I want to assure you now, we are coming now to the implementation phase. You've seen me huko nje, nikitangatanga huko nje. Yeah? Tangatanga has been globalized, and now because of that, we are just about to see the fruits in terms of investment in our ports, in terms of investment in our water desalination, in terms of serious foreign investors coming to help us with our agriculture, with our ICT, and indeed so many other sectors within our aviation, within our hotel industry. So we are going to do, you see a lot of investors coming in, and when that happens, tafadhali, we need the support of Kenyans. On the domestic level, you heard the president announce that you are building one industrial park in every county. On top of the flagship ones I've mentioned, on top of the special economic zones, we are going to have an industrial park. President has committed 100 million shillings per county for these industrial parks. The governors whom we met 2-3 weeks ago with the president in Nairobi, they have committed, the minimum is 100 million. Some governors have contributed up to 500 million. And what is making me happy is that the county aggregation and industrial parks is one area where we don't have county government and national government, this party and that party, watu wa kazi na watu wa maandamano, tumeshirikiana pamoja to say, let us at least have one thing that we agree on. Finally, is on my gospel again and again on jobs creation. We can build jobs here. We can put every Kenyan to work if we work together. If we just focus and do the right things. These are the jobs I need. The 4 million jobs I'm going to create here is more than the 100 jobs of China Square. So I'll never tire from telling the truth. I wish those people would come here and help me in creating 4 million jobs. That is better than creating China Square. Even import for us, but come here and invest in where we have got export market like the US. So, wacha nirushiwe mawe leo, but as I've told you, mbinguni niko na chance kidogo kukuliko na kuliko China Square ya kufika mbinguni. So kwa hayo machache, asanteni sana. Thank you everybody. Thank you CS Mulkomen, CS Florence, everybody. Thanks you NSSF. Thank you pension. Thank you all the Kenya Railways people, the consultants. Thank you very much indeed Tanoi and Mitchell Court for seizing this opportunity and showing really that PPP can work not only with foreign investors but also domestic investors. Asanteni sana na Mungu wabariki.
Waziri, kabla uketi, would like to appreciate you one more time as I request our CSS to join him for a quick photo session. After, we'll have a quick media briefing, so let's have a quick photo. So just stand there because we want to face this side. Can we invite the chairman, EPZ? All right. Thank you very much. Let's have all the CEOs here present to join the photo. Akifuateni instructions. CEOs. CEOs present. Yeah, kindly join. Fantastic. EPZA senior management team, chairman, NSSF tafadhali. Private pension or and any other person who has money. Sasa ingia kwa picha. Wanahabari, tafadhali, as we kindly, we are having a quick gift session. Aya, tunapeana zawadi na tunataka picha. Tunapea investor. So very important photo session. Investor authentically Kenyan. Yeah.
This particular gift that we're giving you, Madam Waziri, is produced at the EPZ. The sisal is sourced locally, and the goods are also produced locally. So it is 110% Kenyan made. Asante.
Producers, consumer. Oja kugonga. Hii ya consumer. Yes, I'm